Hello everybody, welcome to The Noble Way. Today we want to talk to you about the top secrets that all Disney pros use when they are heading to Disney World and planning their vacations. These are some of the insider tips and tricks, the self-proclaimed pros of Disney. These are the tricks that they use. So if you're headed to Disney World, you do not want to miss these secrets. Let's start off with a little bit about us and why you should be taking any advice from us or even remotely calling ourselves Disney pros. We are The Noble Way, and we have been visiting Disney World on average for about 2 to 3 weeks a year for over, well, I'm not going to say for over, but basically since we were 5 years old. And then we moved down here to be about 5 minutes away from Disney World, and we go to Disney World almost every single day. In all, I mathed it out. We have been in Disney World for over 25,000 hours between the two of us. 25,000 hours spent in Disney World. Not just the parks, but at the resorts, the restaurants, Disney Springs, everything Disney World. We have experienced most everything you can do at Disney World. 25,000 hours. That's just a little bit about us and our credentials, quote unquote, as to why you might want to listen to some of these secrets that the pros tend to use when it comes to Disney World. The first thing I want to start off with on this list is one that we have mentioned in other videos, and that is wake up early. You have to wake up early. Some people think that Disney vacations are just a relaxing vacation. I have news for you. They are not relaxing vacations. You can relax somewhere much cheaper than Disney World. If you're coming to Disney World and you're wanting to experience Disney World, it is not about relaxing. No. There are much cheaper places to relax. I'm not saying you won't find some downtime and some times to relax, but for the most part, if you want to get your money's worth, you're really going to have to be kind of go, go, go. So wake up early. I have said this to so many people because they have asked us for years and years and years how we do Disney. And the number one tip I give them is wake up early. And they say, oh yes, absolutely. I explain it to them. And then they come back from their vacation. I say, how was it? And they were like, it was pretty good. And I say, what time did you get to the park? They're like, 10, 11. We slept in a lot. I'm like, you didn't even follow the one tip that I told you had to follow. So wake up early. It makes such a difference. You will skip so many wait times if you just get there. We could do a whole episode on what rope drop means, but just in the short, rope drop means get there an hour before the park opens, minimum. If you have early entry because you're a hotel guest, let's say early entry is 8:30, get there at 7:30. And then because sometimes they open the park at 8 or 7:45. They'll open it before the actual official opening. So if you show up at 8:30 and you tell everybody, I rope dropped and I had to wait in line 90 minutes for Flight of Passage.
That means you didn't rope drop.
It's because you didn't rope drop. You got there when it opened. It probably was open for a half an hour before that. You just weren't there. So I'm telling you, wake up early. This helps you not have to buy Genie Plus. It helps you not have to get Lightning Passes. You may still buy it on occasion or do Lightning Passes, but you won't have to. Because if you rope drop, if you wake up early, start your day early, you will be in the parks when people aren't there. Because everybody else who doesn't know these secrets rolls in at 10 o'clock. We kind of call them, we have a name for them, we call them coffee cuppers. Because they roll in at 10 o'clock in the morning sipping their little coffees like they just rolled out of bed. And I'm like, we're on our way out of the park. Like we're leaving the park because we did everything in the park and it's only 10:30 in the morning.
True story.
True story. These are facts. I'm spitting some facts right now. This is legitimate. So wake up early, get to the park early, don't sleep in if you're headed to the parks. Take a sleep-in day when you're not going to a park. But when you're going to the park, wake up early.
Next up is stay up late. Go back to the parks in the evenings when most people are leaving for dinner or just they're tired and they just couldn't make it throughout the rest of the evening. Yeah, come back to the parks and stay till it closes. Absolutely. Stay till it closes. Stay up late. Now, sometimes the park, sometimes the parks stay open till 11 o'clock or midnight. And that's without extra magic hours. They used to have extra magic hours where if you stayed in a resort, sometimes the parks would close at 12, but if you stayed at the resort,
it stayed open for you till 3 a.m. So you could really stay up late. They aren't doing that right now. I don't know if they'll bring it back, but either way, stay till it closes. So waking up early and staying up late, that really kind of dovetails nicely into our third tip, which is skip the middle. Don't be in the parks in the middle of the day. Get there early, stay there late, but don't stay the whole time. Don't be there in the middle of the day because everybody else is doing that. People are rolling in at 10 o'clock and they're staying till 6. And the worst part, they're staying during the hottest, most crowded part of the day. And so they're waiting, you'll be waiting in line for 90 minutes, 120 minutes at noon, and the sun is baking you to death, and you're so hot, and you're walking between things, and you're miserable. And then so by the time it's 4 or 5 o'clock, you're like, we gotta go. And that's what happens. So the very beginning of the day is less people, the very end of the day is less people, and in the middle, it's a zoo. So skip the middle. The best thing to do, and I've said this in other videos, get there early. Around 11 or 12 o'clock, bail out. Go back to your hotel. Go to Disney Springs. Hang out at the pool. Grab lunch out of the parks. Go somewhere. Take a nap. Sometimes that's the best time to sleep is in the middle of the day. You get back to your hotel, grab some lunch at noon. You're at nap time by 1 o'clock. You wake up around 3 or 4 feeling amazingly refreshed. The sun's starting to go down a little bit. The heat's starting to lift. It's getting a little cooler. Time to go back to the park and finish the day. That's a huge, those are big 3 huge tips that the pros definitely use when it comes to Disney. Get there early, stay up late, skip the middle. The next secret that the Disney pros use is planning breaks. Not necessarily having to plan an exact day for breaks, but leaving room for breaks. So don't pack your Disney vacation so full of activities that you have no room for breaks. We'll get to another tip about planning later, but it's not necessarily we're going to be there Saturday to Saturday and Wednesday's going to be our break day. Feel it out. You decide when you feel like you need a break, when you're starting to get tired and bothered, and maybe you're getting a little bit mean to each other, a little grumpy because you've been waiting in lines and it's been hot and there's been some things have gone wrong. Maybe it's time for a nice break day. And the break day could be sleeping in, grabbing a quick breakfast when you get up, hanging out at the pool, or maybe going to Disney Springs or going to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach, and not going to a park at all and just relaxing for the day. Going to bed early. That's a nice thing to do. Plan for breaks. Don't necessarily plan the day for the break. Yeah. But leave room for breaks. It will make your vacation so much more enjoyable.
Next, drive to the parks. The only park we ever ride the bus to anymore when we stay at a resort is Magic Kingdom, just because of the transportation ticket center and all that. So we just take the bus. But otherwise, drive. It's so much faster and easier to get there, get in, and get out. You don't have to wait in any lines for the buses when you're like super tired at night and you don't feel like waiting in that long line. If you have a car, definitely drive to the parks.
Drive to the parks. The only exception is obviously if you have a monorail to get to the park, or the Skyliner. Any of those transportation options are fine. But if your choice is bus or drive, we recommend driving to the park. It's just easier to get in and out. The only exception is Magic Kingdom because you have to deal with Transportation Ticket Center. We never drive to Magic Kingdom. It's always the bus. So that's another tip. The next tip on our list is experiences, not rooms. Buy experiences, not the rooms. People think they need to go for the big deluxe or heavy hitter resorts because they want a fancy room. The reality is, don't waste your money on a room. You're never going to be in the room. I promise you, you will be in the room so little amount of time, and all you're probably going to do is sleep in the room, that you're wasting your money on the room. Buy experiences. So think about what hotel you want based on the amenities and the experience that the resort offers, not the room itself. You can get a lot of fantastic experiences from value and moderate resorts, just like you can from deluxe. So another tip that the pros use.
Next up, mobile order. There's mobile order at all the quick service restaurants. You can just mobile order. You can tell them when you're there, and then they start preparing your food. And it's much faster than waiting in the lines.
In most cases, it's going to save you time. It's going to be a lot quicker. And it will automatically apply if you have all your stuff linked, in the Disney Experience app. It will even apply your annual pass discounts and things like that. You just mobile order. It will save you a lot of time. Next up on the list is use the single rider if you can. Obviously, if you have small kids and things like that, and it's not always an option for you, but if it is an option for you, I highly recommend looking when there is a single rider and using it, because you can save a lot of time. We will use single rider on a lot of rides like Rock and Roller Coaster, different places that we can just jump in, because we're usually on the same car. Maybe we don't get to sit. Sometimes we do still get to sit next to each other. It just depends. Sometimes she'll be right behind me. It just depends on what you're looking. But if you're looking to like, I want to ride something and I just don't want to wait in that long line, sometimes a single rider line is definitely the way to go.
Drink free water. You do not need to buy the bottled waters or bring a bottle of water with you to the parks. They have free ice water, and the ice in the water is very good. I like to eat it. And you can get as many as you want throughout the day, and they have them all over the parks.
Next up is ignore the weather.
Definitely ignore the weather.
Ignore the weather. I'm not going to say don't look at the weather necessarily and find out like, it might rain, but I'm telling you, it always says it's going to rain in Florida. Not always, but a lot of times it says it's going to rain, or it says it's not going to rain and it rains.
Yeah.
It'll say it's not going to rain and it rains. It'll say it's going to rain and it doesn't rain.
It'll say 90% chance of rain and it rains for 10 minutes.
Literally just yesterday.
Day.
Just yesterday, it said 90% chance of rain. 90% rain for like the next week. We went to the park, it rained for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It rained for 15 minutes, and then it was sunny the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So, ignore the weather. Don't worry about the weather. Don't ever cancel your vacation. We've been here during hurricanes, and it's been perfectly fine.
Yep.
Plus, as an added bonus for this one, carry ponchos with you, because it might rain. If it looks like it might rain, carry ponchos. And, fun fact, don't buy them from Disney. Buy them before you get here. I'm not saying, I mean, we always buy them from Disney, but we don't take our own advice. You really shouldn't buy them from Disney because they're more expensive and they're not even that good.
No,
you can buy a lot better ponchos before you get here.
Yep. Pick the right clothing. Don't wear new shoes, wear comfortable shoes. I say, which I'm not a big tennis shoe wearer, I like to wear shoes that can dry in case it rains. I don't like to walk around in wet shoes. So if you can get like, some people like Crocs, I like flip-flops, some people buy the comfortable sandals that you can buy so that they can dry. But also, if you want tennis shoes, you can wear those also. And
just make sure they're not new shoes.
Yeah.
Like even Crocs, which are supposed to be really comfortable, like you're walking on air, sometimes brand new Crocs can be pretty firm, and they will tear your feet up. So I'd say wear shoes that you know are comfortable that you've walked in before.
And also, try to wear spandex. If you chafe at all when you walk, definitely bring spandex on the vacation.
Yeah.
That is a must-have.
Some sort of like tight slide shorts that you can wear under your shorts or pants. Even if you don't have a history of chafing, it's a good idea to bring them just in case.
Just in case.
Because there's something about the Florida heat and the moisture
Yep.
that you will chafe between your legs or at different locations, and you've never ever chafed before. And trust me, that is bad news if you've ever had that happen. So I just say carry them, like bring them with you just in case.
And when it's colder outside, because sometimes, you know, in the Florida, if it's not the summer, it's cooler in the morning. It'll be like fall. Then the middle of the afternoon, it's dead summer, blazing hot. And then in the evening, it gets fallish spring again. So you might need like a little jacket or sweater. Yeah.
It gets cold.
You really do.
Like it can go from like 40 to 50 to like 80 and then back down to 40. So like you're gonna want to wear or bring stuff depending on the time of year where you can kind of layer and like take things off. And
in
put
the
it back
summer,
on.
you don't really need to do that. But
the summer, just wear as little clothing as possible.
Or nothing.
Shade. Yeah. The next tip that all the Disney pros know is that don't believe the wait times. Their wait times are not accurate at all. We can tell you from personal experience, they are inflated big time. On average, we've found that the wait times are probably 40 to 50% higher than an actual wait time. So if it says 90 minutes, it's probably 45 to 50 minutes. I will say on occasion, it will be accurate. And then you'd be like, ugh.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're pretty inflated.
Exploit fireworks and parades. While the fireworks are going on in parades, go ride the rides. There's hardly any wait at all for the rides. 0 to like 5-minute waits.
Yeah. It'll go from 60-minute wait to like 10.
Yeah.
Literally. Now, if you've never seen the fireworks or the parade, you probably want to see them. But if you've seen them, you might want to really consider doing other stuff during those fireworks and parades instead of seeing them again. You can get a lot of rides and things done in that short period of time. So because we've seen all the fireworks and parades many times, again, the Disney pros, as soon as them fireworks people start lining those streets ready for those fireworks, we're jumping on all the rides we can in that short period of time. Next one is dine after the parks close. Did you know that there are actually dining reservations you can get after the park closes? A good example of that is Oga's Cantina. You can actually do Oga's Cantina after the park closes. Not even like right before, but like 15, 30 minutes after the park closes will be your reservation time. So you don't have to waste your time eating or waiting for a reservation while the park is open. You can wait for the park to close and then get that same experience. And then the cool part about it is sometimes you can hop on a ride right before the park closes. By the time you get off that ride, it's ready for your reservation. And then when you're done with the reservation, you get to walk out of the park when there's nobody there, with an empty park. So it's pretty cool. Good picture opportunities too, because there's nobody in the park.
Use magic bands. Your magic band will hold your park ticket, your room key. You can put your credit card on there. You can open the lockers with them. Yeah. So it's your key to the world, and it's a cute little bracelet on your arm.
Yeah, and the magic bands aren't that expensive. If you get a magic band, it's literally, you can do everything with it. You can literally get away with not carrying anything. Unless you drove to the park, then you have your keys. But literally nothing. You don't have to carry anything else other than your magic band, which goes on your wrist. Now, you can put your credit card on it, and there is a PIN to use it. So don't panic like, oh, if I lose my magic band, people are going to run up my credit cards. No. There's a PIN you enter in order to use it. So I just think it's an amazing convenience, and even opens the lockers. So like if you go to the water park, and they're waterproof. So you can put everything in your lockers and not have to worry about people stealing your stuff at your chairs or anything like that. Put everything in a locker and go have fun. And all you got to do is you can get food, everything. So it's definitely a good investment if you're going to be there for more than a day or two. If you're only going to be there a day or two, it's probably not worth it. But if you're going to be there a week, and you can reuse them, take care of them, and you can reuse them on next visits. So magic bands are awesome. The next one is similar to the fireworks, and it's eat when people ride and ride when people eat. A lot of people think, okay, it's noon, time to eat lunch. Well, guess what? Everyone else is thinking the same thing. So now you're in, like a flight of passage length line just to eat. It's not a good idea. Wait. Like, eat at different times. So when everybody else is eating, go ride the rides, because when they're eating, they're not in line, and you can get less wait times. And then when it's like 1, 2, maybe like 2 o'clock, maybe that's time for lunch, and maybe you eat dinner at 8 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. So think about when people are eating and go ride rides. And when people are riding rides, go eat. It'll save you so much time. That's what we do. We never eat when we're supposed to eat. We eat at different times. If you're really, really starving, just grab a snack and go.
Use closing time to your advantage. Get in line for the most popular rides that usually have the longer waits, like 1 minute before the park closes, because there won't be very many people in line, and you won't wait very long. It
may say like 90-minute wait, but the reason that it's the way to go is because right before the park closes, they inflate the wait times because they don't want people to get in line, because they're like, we want to go home. We don't want you to wait in a 90. So they'll say it's a 90-minute wait. But the thing is even if there are a lot of people in line, it will move much faster. Why? Because there's no Genie Plus passes or Lightning passes available after the park closes. So at maximum, whoever's in line at park closing is all that's going to be in line at park closing. So as soon as those Genie Plus Lightning Pass people get through, there's no more like people getting in front of you at line. It's only the standby line. So for the first like 5 minutes after park closing, you may feel like the line is going slower, and then all of a sudden the floodgates open and you're in and out of there in like 15 minutes. We have literally gotten in line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It said 90 minutes. We got in line at 8:59 when the park closed at 9. It said 90 minutes. We were on the ride in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Use park closing time to your advantage. The next one on the list is to plan tent poles, but wing the rest. I think people think they have to plan every single detail, but I will tell you, that is a recipe for disaster. I'm not saying don't plan at all. Plan big tent poles, like what park are we probably going to go to this day? Maybe make a few dining reservations, like a handful of dining reservations. Think about what are some of the must-do rides that we have to do. We have created lots of must-do Disney videos. I'll link to them below. check those videos out. Those are the things that you must do in the parks. And so plan out, these are the things that we feel like we have to do. Those videos can help you. Even things like breaks. Don't necessarily plan when you're going to have the break. Just make room for breaks and take those breaks. So plan the big things, but kind of wing the rest.
The next thing is relax.
Oh, yes.
Don't try to do it all.
Don't do it. Don't try to do it all. And things will go wrong. Things will go wrong.
They will definitely go wrong.
You just have to call an audible. You just have to go with the flow. If you go into Disney with the mentality of like, we're not going to get everything done. We're not going to be able to do anything. We have a rough plan. Things might go wrong. You will have a much better time, trust me, than trying to over-prepare, over-plan. You know, like I said, have a good idea of what you think you might want to do and just go with the flow and relax and have a good time. You're supposed to be there to have fun, not stress out. And the last one, which I think is one of the most important and the biggest, is to download and use the My Disney Experience app. I still cannot believe how many people that I see in the parks that have no clue about the My Disney Experience app. I don't even know how they function. This app has everything you could possibly need. Like, I'll be looking at the app and people will be over my shoulder like, what's that? And I'm like, really? You still don't know about the My Disney Experience app? Absolutely. Download it on your phone. It allows you to make your park reservations. You don't have to use a computer to do that. You can do it on the app. It allows you to check wait times. Why walk halfway across the park just to find out it's a 2-hour wait? Like, look and see what has a low wait time and walk there instead. It tells you the show times, firework viewing, parades. It shows you the parade routes. It shows you can join virtual queues for the rides. Mobile ordering is accomplished on the app, so you can do all your mobile ordering there. Set dining reservations. Look at the park maps. And you can even do Genie Plus and Lightning Lane purchases and reservations. So basically, this app has it all, does it all, and I don't honestly know how you function without it. Download it before you go. Get all your stuff linked up and make sure you're ready to roll, ready to rumble. You get to the parks and have that at your fingertips. All right, there you have it. That is 20 secrets that the pros use when it comes to Disney World. Like I said, we've been doing this a long time, and these are 20 tips that I promise you, these are things that you're going to want to do. They will make your vacations, your life so much easier. So, thanks for joining us. If you like this content and you find it valuable, make sure you subscribe below and hit the notifications so you know when our new videos come out. Until then, we hope you have a fantastic, wonderful vacation as you come to Disney World. It is a magical place after all, and we should all be having fun. Until tomorrow, the Noble Way
Is the easy way.
Bye-bye, everybody.